Right now, we're going to give you a live look outside of the U.S. Supreme Court. Protesters have been there for hours since a leaked majority opinion revealed that justices could overturn Roe v. Wade, and that could change abortion rights as we know it.
And Fox 26's Chelsea Edwards joins us live in the studio with an update on the situation. Good morning, Chelsea.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, this isn't just about the abortion rights themselves, but also about this document getting leaked. This is the very first time in history that a draft decision has been released while a Supreme Court case is still pending. Now, this leaked document was written as the opinion of the court delivered by conservative Justice Samuel Alito, then published by political news site Politico. Now, this rare breach of Supreme Court secrecy has many questioning if it was leaked to affect the final opinion. The case involved weighs a Mississippi law banning abortions after 15 weeks of pregnancy. The law is a direct challenge to Roe versus Wade, the 1973 ruling that legalized most abortions. Speculation about the majority conservative court's decision has been circling since last year. However, we weren't expecting to hear opinions until a final ruling this summer. In the draft, Justice Alito describes the divisiveness on the topic of abortion in this country, writing, "Roe was wrong from the start," adding that the U.S. should return to the first 185 years after the Constitution was adopted, when states made the decision on whether or not abortions were legal. Here in Texas, abortions have already been banned after about 6 weeks of pregnancy through what is called the heartbeat law, which went into effect in September. But overturning Roe versus Wade would virtually eliminate abortion access in Texas. Our legal expert is coming up to talk more about that. Meanwhile, it's important to remember justices have been known to change their minds. This was a draft dated in February, so there could already have been changes to this opinion. Regardless, protesters are already responding across the nation, with a rally planned right here in Houston tonight at 6 p.m. on the steps of City Hall. Reporting live in studio, Chelsea Edwards, Fox 26 News.
All right, thank you for that, Chelsea. Now, this could change abortion rights as we know them, but how soon could we see anything happen with Roe versus Wade? Could it be overturned? What does that mean for Texans? I know you probably have a lot of questions.
And joining us now, Fox 26 senior legal analyst Chris Tritico to talk about these developments. Good morning again, Chris. Thanks for joining us. What do you think about this particular leak? I mean, we've been talking about what it says, but the leak itself could be very serious.
Well, I don't find this to be an accident. The Supreme Court never has leaks like this. And so this was intentional, in my view, to ensure that the opinion stayed the way it was. And the majority opinion is what we expected to happen with Roe versus Wade. As soon as Amy Coney Barrett took her seat on the court, and I think this leak was to ensure that that the majority opinion stayed the way it was.
Chris, can you talk about what this means for Texas? We know that we are one of 12 states with what are called trigger laws. Can you explain that?
Sure. The trigger law was passed with the last abortion, the 6-week abortion law. The trigger law was passed at the same time. And what that says is as soon as the Supreme Court overturns Roe versus Wade, 30 days later, abortions are banned in Texas. And there's 11 other states, including Texas, 12 total, that have these trigger laws. And so assuming that this opinion stays the way it is, or close to the way it is, and Roe versus Wade is overturned, 30 days later, abortions in Texas will be banned completely.
So what does this also mean, not just for Texas, but for the other states in the union right now?
Well, so overturning Roe versus Wade, the way that Justice Alito has written it in this majority opinion, if it stays the way it is, each state will be afforded the opportunity then to regulate abortion in its own way. Texas will ban it. States like California and New York, which have more liberal legislatures, will allow abortion rights in different ways. And so you'll see people flocking to those states, if they can afford it, to get an abortion, as opposed to staying in Texas, where they won't be able to get one at all, or have to have an illegal abortion and face the consequences of that.
Now, let's talk about what this would mean if it were to happen. Would it end abortion litigation?
Not at all. What you're going to see now, as soon as those trigger laws take effect, 30 days after this opinion comes out, is litigation around that. Can a state totally ban a woman's right to choose? And that will go back up to this same Supreme Court for them to issue an opinion on whether or not a state can totally ban abortion. This is not going to end this long fought fight over abortion rights. What's going to need to happen is what has been said for years and years and years. Congress needs to act on this, and they've refused time and time again. Ruth Bader Ginsburg said famously that she would have not voted for Roe versus Wade because she thought it was wrongly decided, that it was a states' rights issue. Even though she upheld it time and time again, she thought it was a states' rights issue and that Congress should act on it.
Real quick, when do you see a decision by the Supreme Court, if there is going to be a decision by the Supreme Court on this leaked document?
They'll start issuing opinions at the end of this month and through the month of June. And so it'll come out sometime at the end of this month or sometime in June, you'll see that opinion come out.
All right, so far our viewers in the Houston area are 66% with the Supreme Court drafting an opinion of Roe versus Wade. Chris, thank you for taking time to walk us through all this morning and helping us better understand it. Good to see you as always.
Thanks, you bet.